Hello everyone and welcome back to Factorio, where, as promised, off camera, I extended the steel smelting stack. It's not going to fill the belt anytime soon, but it will do a little bit better than we have been doing up to now. It'll help us along. We are almost up to the point where we are going to be getting our first automobiles, and once that happens, we're going to be doing a little bit of scouting and then a little bit of extermination. We're going to reduce some of the problems that we are currently facing. But before then, how about we have a look at these? We've got 41 steel furnaces, and at this point, I'm going to say that we no longer need those furnaces anymore. But let's have a quick look at the difference between them. Crafting speed is 2, pollution is 4 per minute. These are crafting speed of 1 and pollution of 2 per minute. Maximum consumption is a 90 kilowatts of burnable fuel, and it is the same down here. But basically, it just does everything a little bit better. Now, we can probably stop carrying around all these furnaces. Eventually, we're going to want to get rid of them, but for the time being, we should be okay. Now, Automobilism is complete. We can now build ourselves a car, but before we get to that, let's go ahead and... as much as I want to go for trains right away, I am actually going to drop a little bit more love into these. Now, unfortunately, I can't stack these researches, so we're just going to do one, then t'other. At least we'll get through the first one probably before we get to much further along. Right, but first and foremost, I want to go and replace some of these furnaces. Now, of course, the steel furnaces are the best candidates for a replacement straight away, and you can just place these on top of the furnaces. Usually when you're moving an item around, when you're replacing an item, you have to completely deconstruct the item that already exists. In this case, not so, because this is just a straight upgrade, and it's very much the same with belts. So, for example, when we get to the point where we want to replace our yellow belts with red belts, which are, you know, just a flat upgrade, then we can simply draw them over the top of the old ones and they will be replaced. Now, we're not going to be able to get all of these done in one go, and that is going to be a little bit vexing, but this is fine for now. We're going to see a lot more steel moving through. In fact, twice as much steel moving through, which will be very, very nice indeed. I will slowly upgrade those over time. But first and foremost, let's go ahead and have a look. What is going to be required for a car? Need 8 engines, 5 steel plates, 20 iron plates, and something that isn't as obvious, we're going to need some fuel. Also, I really need to get rid of all of this stone out of my inventory. I have not been doing that nearly as much as I should. Let me drop all of that down there. There we go. Oh, we're coming under attack. Ah, they've come from a different direction. Well, scallywags, okay. They're eating our iron belts. There we are. It has been so long since I last played that for a moment there, I wasn't sure what that sound was. But as you can see, armor-piercing bullets make extremely short work of things. But where did they come from is the question. Well, they went right around. Yeah, they're getting cleverer. Very, very much more clever. I imagine they were going for this at this point because that is the greater, more pressing source of pollution. But that can be really anyone's guess, ultimately. Okay, well, that's kind of a pain in the bum. And now means I need to do a quick bit of repair. You can just replace these if you want to, but honestly, it's just going to be a problem later down the line because that broken belt is going to remain a broken belt until it is fixed. So you're going to have a stack of like 1 or 2 belts that all have different amounts of damage to them. So it's just easier to just go around and repair them. I know it's a little bit less enjoyable, that one, but it is worth it in the long run. There we go. Let's be popping these down. I think that's more or less all of them. I can't press Q to select those power poles, so we can't repair broken buildings in that way. Oh, hello. Here we are. Another attack straight down this little alleyway here. Okay, well, that's good. We now know where you're coming from, which means I'm now going to defend against it. Now, I could put a little turret around here, and I think that's probably going to be perfectly fine. Something around there will help with both areas, I would say. We will drop down. Let me just try and deconstruct some of you. There we go. We'll pop this there. and connect this up like so. There we are. That'll do nicely. Ooh, I'm out of guns. Well, damn. Okay, gonna have to go and grab those then. But this was a little bit of a surprise, honestly, that happened as quickly as it did. But okay. Let me go and grab some gun turrets. There's always something to do in Factorio. Never a dull moment unless you've got a mega base, in which case biters are no longer really a threat. Wow, you're coming from a different direction down here as well. But this one hasn't been upgraded to piercing ammo yet. This might be nasty. So we are definitely going to need to help out a little bit. Hello, we've lost a fair few. Ooh, the biters are getting wise. They have cottoned on to our superior defenses and are starting to bypass them. Well, that's a little bit of a worry, but also kind of fun. Again, I enjoy playing with biters enabled. Your mileage may vary. You might not enjoy having biters active in your games, and if so, once again, it's a single player game. There is no right way to play. Well, there is, and that is whatever way makes you happy, basically. Let me go ahead and upgrade this one. I know we've currently got an area then that hasn't got any kind of defenses, which is a bit of a problem, but we lost almost two entire cannons. That was a little bit of a worry. But okay, let's go ahead. We're going to just completely replace this area. There we are. It's going to be a lot easier to do this from scratch. Let's go ahead and pop this. Let's try and line it up at least a little bit. About there, should do. Once again, pop these down. We don't need them, but I'm going to use them anyway. There we go. And let's pop these down. Now, a couple of people have pointed out that power poles, they are much better in blueprints, because I was mentioning that, but until you get robots, blueprints are not really necessary. But apparently, if you've placed down your power poles in a non-standard distribution, if you've got a blueprint and you're like just drawing the power poles out along the blueprint, it will actually adjust to the positioning of the blueprint power poles, which is quite good. Actually, thinking about it, I should have tested whether that was the case for these as well, but we'll get to that in a moment. Let's just drop it in 200 there. I am probably going to go without some ammo myself to allow the cannons to have the ammo. Really? Why have you got that? Let's get rid of that. There we go. That's much better. And we'll go and upgrade the other one before we get onto the important job of building a car. Can I actually make one yet? I need to grab the engines. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Okay. Well, we are definitely seeing a much healthier output of steel right now. But again, need to deal with these biters. And I'm a little bit surprised that they're suddenly attacking from a different direction. Up to now, they've been pretty predictable in the way that they would attack. I'm wondering if maybe that is... maybe there's been a version update. I didn't see anything about that, but sometimes that might be a culprit if something previously predictable suddenly changes, simply because the AI pathfinding routine may be weighted in a different way. Let's top that up to a full stack. I don't think we need more than a full stack of piercing ammo down here, at least not for a good long while. There we go. It does occur to me that I've just updated... Oh, where are we being attacked? Looks like we were attacked at the further out defense post. But it does occur to me that we're probably not going to need all of these upgrades around here, simply because we're about to go out and start wrecking biter bases. But it's worth adding a little bit of defense, I think, overall. Now then, let's go and grab those engines. We should have enough now for me to be able to get out there. And of course, once physical projectile damage is up and firing speed is up, that is going to be a big help for us. We don't need this many. In fact, I only need enough for a car. Then we're going to put the rest back. There we go. All right, we do have odds and sods that I can drop off in a couple of places. We've got more than enough stacks of coal to see us through for quite some time, so I'm not particularly concerned about that. I am, by and large, happy to have an inventory full of iron plates and copper plates and stuff like that. It's the raw ores that I typically don't like having in large number in my inventory. They are a bit less useful to me. Coal is going to be very useful, though. We do want to keep that around. Yeah, I can't really drop off anything more over here. That's a bit of a pain. I guess one thing we can do... It's a little bit of an easy way to get things going. We will have a belt balancer there, We will drop that. Actually, I should have used the wooden chest, really. Let's move this one further back. There we go. We'll have a little belt there, and we're simply going to offload any stone that we can into that. And we can just drop this down to connect that up. That way, it's all out of my inventory. I don't have it clogging everything up. We can just drop off some iron ore around there, and we're good to go, I think, for the most part. We've got plenty of ammo. We can, switch out from using this if we need to. Okay, so we've got our car, I imagine. There we are. Pomp. We can go in and load this up with some fuel. Load all of the fuel. Well, don't load. In fact, I'm going to say don't load all of the fuel into it for now. We are going to have the machine gun on the car, loaded with the piercing ammo, and we will carry regular ammo with it. And it is now time. Now that we've gone in, the vehicle has switched to our color. When you're in multiplayer, that matters a lot more. Just so you can see what vehicle belongs to who. There we go. It's being attracted by the military buildings. There we are. Okay, so they're coming from way down here. Let's go out and see. First thing I want to do, I don't actually want to go and attack the biters just yet. I want to see what lies down here. Is this a land bridge to something I need to be protecting against? Or can we simply destroy that one biter base and then we're good for good? Yes, we are good. That is excellent. This little area doesn't go anywhere. There's a couple of little islands over there, it seems, but I'll use a radar at some point to check that out a little bit more. But for now, this is actually great. It means that once we've cleared this out, we're probably going to be okay. Have they got any worms? They've got a small worm. The main thing you want to get rid of are the spawners. Once everything else is dealt with, you're good. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. That was a bad move. I need to have a look at my terrain before I do stuff like that. But this'll do. The worms are so much easier to deal with now than they used to be because their projectile, they try to work out where you're going. So they are trying to track you, but their projectile doesn't track in flight, which is so much better than it used to be. We can get in a little bit closer for this, but there we go. One down. That's one big part of the problem resolved. The stragglers, I don't strictly need to take these out, but it's probably worth me doing. Just as a general rule, it is usually better if you're not driving that close in when you're in combat, because you are likely to going to just drive straight into the biters. Now, that isn't necessarily a bad thing. If you're moving fast enough, you'll just kill them when you do it, but your vehicle will take a little bit of damage, and if there's enough of them, eventually they're going to clog up your wheels, and then you're going to die. Because, trust me, being stuck in the middle of a massive horde of biters, even small ones, is pretty rough to get through, but there we go. The whole biter base has now been finished off. I don't need to kill you and use up the ammo in my vehicle, but I didn't like the idea of just leaving you there alone until you wandered near enough to my turrets to die. Give you some mercy at least. Alright, okay, so that's one threat dealt with. Now, we don't know what's over here. Oh, no, now we do. Okay, well, let's have a look at the map. How's our pollution spreading? We've got a bit of time. Okay, so we do not need all of these down here unless something wants to come around down there. If I put a little base down there, then we are effectively safe on this side, and I can get rid of all of the bases over here until such a time. Now, they can expand outwards. I think a base maybe here and here. Maybe one down here will effectively seal off this area. So we can reposition a lot of our bases right now, and I think that's probably worth our time to do. Another thing I should do, and I know, look, okay, I take my small pleasures where I can. All right, yes, thank you very much, everyone, for pointing out that once again I have messed up my production due to an inserter pointing the wrong way. There you go. Hit enter to get out of the vehicle. Don't do that while it's in motion. What did I not do correctly? Gears. Yes. Okay, so it wasn't that it was pointing the wrong way, it was that I was getting the wrong thing. That's a slight improvement, I suppose. Let's get rid of these. We can do better with this. Yeah, stonk that there. There we go. Now we're producing. Ah, shush. Okay, it's fine. There we are. What would you do if you didn't have something to comment about? I know quite a few of you would be bitterly disappointed if there was an episode without any derps in it at all. So, really, I'm doing you a favor by being bad. There we go. Let's strip this away. We just built it, but oh well. I knew that was a potential risk. but it's fine. We'll leave this as a testament to what once was a necessary defensive outpost there. We're just going to go ahead and I'm going to... Yeah, we're going to get rid of this one as well. No reason to have this there. And this also fills up our inventory with more piercing ammo, which is always welcomed. There we are. Now, you might be wondering why I didn't stock the car full of spare stacks of fuel. I'm going to give it one spare stack of fuel, but I'm not going to overload it yet, simply because at that point, you may end up in a position where the car gets blown up and you just lost an awful lot of product with that. I'm going to leave this down here for now, just on the off chance that something wings down along the south side of the island. I don't anticipate that there will be anything like that, but we're going to leave this there just in case. And I'm going to bring this out reasonably far, actually. Reasonably far. We're going to possibly have 2 of these little defensive bases situated around here, and I think that should be fine. There we go. Do I have enough steel chests? I do. Marvelous. Let's just pop all these down. And this is going to be future-proofing this side of our... Are these burnt the right way? They are. Phew. Okay, I avoided the dirt of this one. So don't worry, it's not a pattern. There we go. And do I have the spare light? Yes, I do. There we go. Right, that will probably work for now. If we put one up here, then we're a little bit more secure. Besides, so sure, let's go ahead and pop another one right about here, just to be extra specially safe. Why be sorry when you can be safe instead? Oop, that's in the wrong spot. There you go. And with that, we should be good. Or at least once I've actually placed down the guns. Can't forget the guns. Not good until they're there. Let me go and grab some more ammo first. I've got enough walls that I don't need to be too focused on recovering them. But let's just make sure that we've got plenty of ammo at the very least. There we go. Nice. Alright, how are we going with the physical projectile damage too? We're almost finished. We are lacking on the green science, though. That is where we're going to need to improve that. There we go. Let's just finish off the walls, and we should be fine for the time being. But I'm not going to worry too much about upgrading the green science production, because honestly, the only reason why this is taking as long as it is because it uses so much green science to do. The railway is much, much higher priority for me right now, and it's going to be a lot faster of a research, that one, so we should be good. All right, there we are. Okay, so this side of the base is now pretty secure. I'll leave that there, again, for a little while. I don't think we need to worry about that one over much. I could probably just expand this out a wee bit. I mean, we've got a backlog, so why not, I guess. Sure, okay. Let's pop these down. And over here, we can have some chunky cables. There we go. Bring these all down the right way. Now, one thing that we can do is we can also upgrade those assemblers. We haven't unlocked them yet, but that, much as with the furnace, is just going to be a flat upgrade. Though with the assemblers, I actually think that they do more than just upgrade. They're not just twice as fast and produce twice as much pollution. I'm fairly certain that they are more efficient. So they might be twice as fast, but only a quarter as polluting or something along those lines. I'll have to refresh my memory when we actually unlock them and can have a look at them. But I do seem to remember that it was something along those lines. It was better than just twice the assembler in the space of in the same space. Do we need to upgrade any of these? I mean, we could upgrade the copper, actually. I mean, at this point we can upgrade everything, but there's not really a rush on upgrading the iron, because the iron is already overproducing compared to what we can store on the belt anyway. There we go. That'll help a little bit. Right. Okay. So now that we've got this, it's on to the railway. This will allow us the production of the locomotive, the cargo wagon, and the rail. We will then need to immediately... Well, technically, not immediately. We do need to get automated rail transport and then onto signals. The signals won't be necessary right off the bat, but it is something that we're going to want to get to reasonably soon so that we can actually start running multiple trains on the same line. There we go. That's actually starting to look a little bit better now already. Okay, so next port of call. Let's have a quick look at the map. How is that expanding out? Okay, yeah, we're fairly solid there. The only place that I'm worried about the biters getting through is down here. I could pop down another radar around there. That actually might help out a little bit. I'd like to spread the radars out as much as I can. Now, I don't like having too many of them because they are, as I've pointed out before, very expensive to run, at least compared to almost anything else you're building early on. But let's pop one there. That should actually help out quite a lot. We'll have a look. Yeah, and we'll get a third. We'll go ahead and build a third and place this down on the far side. And why am I walking over there when I've got a car? I need to channel my inner lazy. Or rather, concentrate the lazy. I need more concentrated lazy in this playthrough. There we go. We can drop down radar. I'll pop it there in the middle, but I'll actually also add in a little bit of extra protection for this one. Just because the biters are going to want to try and take it out. It is going to offend them. There we go. All sorted. Right, that's going to give us a bit of a better spread. Ooh, seeing some attacks at the top. Wasn't expecting that just yet, but all right. And this one's taking a bit of damage too. Okay, we are going to need to sort these out. I'm not going to upgrade this one. I've not seen enough of a force over here to warrant it. Don't crash into things, by the way. It hurts. Not so much you, but it definitely hurts the vehicle and whatever you crashed into at the time. All right, let's get all of these out and also grab these because otherwise it's kind of just random which one we're going to load in, which is unfortunate. All right, there we are. Now we're going to want to start. Ooh, I just said don't do that. Took my eyes off the prize. Damn it. No, or rather, no, this is just a demonstration. Clearly, I can't just expect you to trust me. No, I need to show you that it's bad to crash into things. Shifty eyes. There we go. And head on down here, grab up some piercing ammo. We're going to need a spot for the rail setup. And I'm imagining over here will do for now. Let's go ahead and grab all of these. There we go. We'll go ahead and also reload the defenses at the north. Slowly but surely we'll replace everything with piercing ammo because realistically there is no reason to have the basic ammo anymore. Grab all of this out right now. There we go. Nope. Give that back. Thank you. And there we are. Sorted. Okay. Now then, the radars that we've moved are going to slowly scan these areas and we'll gradually discover new outposts. This one is actually so close that I'm kind of tempted to just get up there and mine it aggressively. Just with basic miners, then belt it down. We'll need to place down some defenses around it, though. But that isn't necessarily going to be too much of a problem for us. This one is going to require a full train stop, and the same with this copper vein, because it's going to take us a while to get through it. Though I am a little bit concerned about that copper vein. Although it's very dense, it's not a very large ore patch, so I'm not going to be able to fit many miners. So I'm going to run into problems with the speed that I can extract that ore. All right, let's have a watch of this. This is a reasonably large group. Oh, there we are. Not too bad. Yeah, not too bad at all. Actually, they're not even getting to this one, but that is a backup should they manage to get through. Okay, well, that's performing as expected then. All right, so with that in mind, do I have enough cannons? I do. I've got enough walls. I'm going to need, well, technically, I guess I could start it off with just the basic firearm magazines. I'd rather not, though, but we've already just emptied out a base, so we're not going to have more for a little while. Okay. Well, I guess let's go ahead and take this up with us then. You can absolutely build from within a vehicle. That is not a problem. There we are. We're going to drop down a couple. Oh, what's up there? It's an attack wave. They're preparing to attack from there, so I'm going to just sweep up and deal with that now, rather than later. So let's get rid of these. This won't trigger the base to attack. It's just going to clear them out a little bit. If you get too close to them, it will annoy them, and that's fine. I'm going to allow them to kill themselves on my defenses rather than go out there directly to deal with them myself for the time being. That does sound quite horrible, and it is when you think about it. Yeah, I'm just going to let you murder yourselves on my base defenses. Turret creep. Though I'll be perfectly honest, it is a completely viable strategy tactic, and one that I employ with great glee whenever I'm playing SupCom. There we go. I mean, if someone lets me build my base closer and closer to their base, really, who have they got to blame when my turrets start murdering them in their base? That's on their own head at that point. There we go. Honestly, if we build it that close, they will just kill themselves on it. But let's give them a fighting chance. Let's put it a little bit closer about there. A little bit closer to where I'm going, that is. Sure, something like this will do, because I'm also going to put a bit of defenses around the power pole here as well. Something like that should do. We're going to go for the walls first this time. I am still going to have an entry point, because I do still want to encourage the biters to try and attack in a certain pattern, in a predictable way. I really need to make a steel chest factory. It is, at this point, the one thing that I am having to be unlazy about. But again, am I being lazy by not making it? Because that would require effort too. It's a valid question, really. There we go. And we'll pop this in. I'll make one light. I should make a light factory as well. Alright, okay. We'll just have... Oh, we do know that much. There we are. That'll do. Right, next up. Now that we have the railway, we need to go to the automated rail station and then finally onto rail signals. Until you've got all of these together, they're not going to be particularly useful to you. Later on... I mean, right now we could set up a rail that would manually move between locations and gather up supplies, but I'm not playing this so that I have to manually drive a train around. My lord. Let's pop this about here. Sure, that actually looks quite nice. There we are. I am going to need... I'm going to have to make it... Look, I'm not going to make it out of iron. Not this time. Usually that fills me with a malicious sort of happiness, but no, I'm going to be a better Aavak because I can be. Also, if I did it every time, it would become predictable. It's more evil is more effective when it's arbitrary. When you can't set your watch by how evil I'm going to be, that's when the evil really gets the most bang for buck. There we are. Well, that will dissuade them a little bit, but I am going to want another area just over here, I'm going to say. And we're going to slot that in about there. There we go. We've got our first proper little defensive wall. I ran out of... Oh, wasn't anticipating that. Well, annoying, but okay. You thought I was going to go for iron there, didn't you? No. Like I said, it's got to be arbitrary. Otherwise, it loses effectiveness. I demand maximal efficacy from my evil. There we go. So we've got a couple of things now that I've got on the list of factories I need to make. Something that's going to start making me rails. Something that will allow me to... I'll just have to pop those in there. Something that will allow me to automatically make chests and lights as well. Now, we're not setting up the actual mining over there, so I don't anticipate we're going to see much from there for now. I will leave these down here, but I might get rid of this one at this point. That should be enough to draw... Oh, we're already seeing some attacks over there. Thankfully, it managed to deal with it. Let's park there for a second. Go grab the walls. We'll take all 400. Thank you very much. We'll go grab some more ammo as well. And then we'll go and set up that little mining outpost. This will be the first outpost away from the base. But it's really not much of an outpost as outposts go. Again, it's not automated. I'm just going to be... This is super low tech. I'm just simply belting something from much further away than you normally would. But even in that, it has its uses. I'm going to leave a little door over here so that biters can path in there. Again, it encourages them to try and path rather than destroy. If you make the path too long to get to the thing they want to break, they will decide to do something else instead. Or rather break something else instead, which is the problem. Please stop. I know I did it wrong. My bad. There we go. Tonk. And then we'll just top this up. There we go. I feel that the north one, and actually probably this one as well, are the most likely. The far side... I did it again. The one to the west, probably... I didn't actually have enough piercing. 90 rounds is still probably going to be enough. The one to the west isn't likely to see as much action. Now, it's a very small little area. We don't need much to mine all of it. In fact, I think I might be ultra lazy. No, we can't. No, we can. Ha 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 ha. There we go. Yes, I know. It's offset. There we go. There's a certain beauty in that, though, in my opinion. There we are. And since we've done it this way, I can just go ahead, pop these down the middle, hook this up like so, and there we are. Little outpost done. Perfect. This will top up our iron supply for a little while. We don't strictly need it, but this takes one place off the list of outposts that we need for the time being. Oh, that was the wrong button. There we are. Building via vehicle is actually a lot more tricky than it looks. I'm going to be honest. I don't recommend it. In fact, now I'm here. I'm going to stop. Well, there is one caveat, and this is probably pro-lazy strats here. I am actually still moving. It's just I'm losing speed. Can I... Oh, well, I'm going to have to get out anyway. But you can have the vehicle just on the belt. And in fact, some people build their belt around that because, as you've noticed, vehicles have a storage. And cargo wagons for trains have a very, very large storage. You can 100% build your base around the idea of just cargo belting the wagons from a train around, because your inserters can still interact with them even when they're on a belt. And just gradually use these gigantic chests everywhere. Sure, we'll bring it in here. And that way we'll balance it out then. We want something like this. 1, and then 2, just to make sure that everything is balanced. It's going to take a while. No, your vehicle won't go through underground belts, nor will it go through splitters, as far as I'm aware. What was the pity, really? That would actually be quite fun. Right. Done and done. Where am I going to want this? Yeah, we're going to go across to the far side and continue building our automation. Again, I'm really getting annoyed at the fact that I have to make chests myself. So let's go and solve that problem right now. There we are. Do I have a... I really didn't build a light factory? My lord. What am I doing with my life? For this, we actually need quite a few things. To be perfectly honest, you do need a fair number of items. All right, so I can... yeah, we're not going to be that lazy. I am actually going to just pull the green circuits off here. I was really tempted to build it down here, but no. No, it would break the perfect ratio that we've got going, and I refuse. Something around here will be fine. At that point, we can spread the power across like this, I would say, and then we can drop down one of these to connect over. There we are, that's fine. Right, automated rail is done. Perfect. The last that we need to set up a proper railway is these signals. And once we've got all of that, then we're golden. I'm going to want a second factory here, purely to make me copper wire. This one can go straight up. Let's bring all of that. I guess I can just pop that there. It should be fine. Right, I'm going to want some copper on this side. I think, yeah, this is the only one that's going to require the copper. We can output on that side into a chest that I haven't made the factory for. I should have done that one first. Thinking about it, it's too late. Oh, I can only use this for so long. Want copper? Ooh, I placed that in a bit of an awkward spot. Okay, let's pop that one in then. We'll see what we can do about it. So let's get... running out of the everything right now. Also, I do want to upgrade to making fast belts. In most cases, they just require the first version and some other component. So in this case, it's gears, gears, gears. So we could run the gears down the middle and actually make double use of that. It wouldn't necessarily be a bad idea, if I'm perfectly honest. But we'll see how we go with that. How I'm doing for belts. Not doing well now that I've laid a load of belt around because I was so lazy. Right. No, everything else we should be good for. I am out of inserters though, so just as well I pop by. And it's never a bad time to pick up more piercing ammo. Always going to need more of that. At this point I can actually start replacing it there. And indeed, let's pop all of this in that we can. There we are. No more regular ammo. Perfect. We're making progress, peeps. There we go. A slightly offset, but it'll be fine. There you go. That should be enough there. We don't need this many lights. That will be more than enough. Now, how many circuits? It doesn't require many. If it required a lot of iron plates or green circuits, then I would probably have set that up to use a blue inserter, but this should be fine. There we go. There. And we can start off with the splitter, and then we just need to bring up the iron plates as well. Nope. Next up, we will get a chest, and then finally we'll actually start working on the railway, which is what I imagined would be the focus of this episode, but you know, it's Factorio. There's always something else to do before you can move on to the next thing. I mean, you can just do things piecemeal as you come to them, or you can try and plan for the future. And I tend to play Factorio in a, I would rather have all of the other things that I'm working on being made for me efficiently before I move off to that. Now, what do you need? We just need steel plate. How can I not make this? It is so easy for me to do. So let's stop being super lazy and just get that one done as well. There we go. Because I'm going to keep complaining otherwise. And eventually you'll get sick of listening to it. You go like, but you have literally been the only person in control of making these things for so long. So really you only have yourself to blame, and you'd be right. And that would make me sad because I wouldn't be able to complain anymore. And there we go. Womp womp. And set up the steel chest. And of course I'm going to put it into an iron chest. An iron chest that's storing steel chests. It's the ultimate form of heresy, and it makes me so happy on the inside. There we go. My life is now complete. I'm about ready to wrap up this series. I think I've achieved everything. There's no greater heresy, frankly. Unless there may be... Ooh, maybe we should keep... We should go on, just in case I can imagine a greater form of heresy. I would feel bad if I had stopped prematurely and there was one greater sin left that I didn't complete. That would be a strike on my permanent record. Okay, so for the locomotive, for the time being, I am not going to automate the production of these. I don't think we're going to be using them in large enough scale right now. But we are going to want this train stop. We are going to want the rail. Obviously, we're going to want the rails in enormous quantities. The rail stops, not so much, but still more often than the trains. And the signals are going to be wanted at fairly large quantities as well. So first and foremost, so what are we going to need there? We're going to need the iron sticks, but otherwise everything else is okay. And here as well, the iron sticks. So actually, we should be able to get by fairly simply. How many iron sticks do we need for this? 6 for that, 1 for this. Honestly, I think 1 iron stick setup would be fine. Ooh, I've messed up a little bit with that. Now, before I go and place down another radar, let's just double check. No. We are going to need more power before I start placing more of those down. I've got enough piped grounds. I want a whole stack of pipes though, because these are going to require them. How many more? Let's go again for another 2. So 1, 2, and then there we go. That should be enough for now. Don't worry, we will get to building the trains. We might not get to building the train line, but we will get to building the trains in this episode before everything is wrapped up. That much I promise. Let's park up there. Okay, time for a little bit more power. Now, eventually, you're going to hit the throughput of your water. Notice that water is not not maxing out. We're starting to hit the capacity for us to pump the water up here, so we may need a second pump soon. I'll have a double check on exactly how much power we can draw in a moment. Okay, I'm gonna have to get rid of you. So for just a brief moment, our power is going to be shut down, but that's fine. There we go. And then over here as well. Now, one thing about burner drills that I didn't actually cover early on, and I feel like I kind of neglected something. They are more expensive. Everything consumes electricity. Everything consumes power. You can look at the burner inserter and it tells you what its consumption of electricity, but it really it's energy. And you get a certain amount of energy by burning coal. You can get a certain amount of energy from burning this. The burner inserter versus the regular inserter is significantly more fuel hungry. You're paying a lot more fuel to run this than you are regular inserters. Oh, I didn't mean to build those, but so what I would actually suggest is have a few. So we'll have 2 stacks that are running on this, and then the rest can upgrade and use regular inserters. I think that should be plenty for us. Let's get rid of that. We don't need it. There we go. Right. All right. There we go. We now have enough power for me to be able to afford to build a radar. And with that, I'll be significantly happier. We are starting to burn through our coal deposit, though. That's somewhat concerning. Not going to lie. And by somewhat concerning, I mean very concerning. So, let's pop in a little bit of something else down here. I'll go and grab some steel chests from the iron chest. That is genuinely going to make me happy for a little while. I'm not joking about it. Let's go and grab these. I'm going to pop a little bit of an inline storage for the coal, just so that we don't burn it all off on making materials and then run out of power. Because we need to get to... yeah, sure. We need to get all the way up to having... I'm going to put this... let's pop it over there. Oil and making our power from solid fuel blocks from oil before we run out of this patch, because I haven't seen another patch of coal yet, and that is worrying me. Because if we run out of this in the very short term, I'm going to be stuck having to harvest trees in order to get enough fuel, and that is a bad place to be. So bad. There we go. Inline, and we'll use blue inserters for this one again. There we go. That will help out a bit. In fact, let's go ahead and drop off this coal. There. Sorted. Right. Now then. Let's go and get our radar down, shall we? So we can actually see what's going on. I've already gone through one of these. There we go. Park there. Radar, please. We want to be able to see what's happening. It's done and dusted. Right, let's have a quick look. Okay, we've now got full line of sight on this little biter base. It's just going to continue spawning. I could go over there and kill them. I don't know. It's kind of nice having them there, though. They're kind of like pets. Pets that you kill. Well, okay, that analogy really fell flat. Don't quote me on that. But I like them to feel they've got hope. They are ultimately going to be wiped out. But until then, I like the idea that they think they're achieving something. They are going to die the same way. Ultimately. You know, their elimination is inevitable. But until that moment where it has to be made manifest, they can believe that they've got a chance. I would rather them live in hope than die kind of resigned to their fate. Now, I am getting quite tempted over here. We've seen a little bit of what's going on. Sneak through? No, apparently not. Okay. Don't mind me. Just exploring. Ooh. Ooh, this is good. This is looking very good. Can I get up through here? No. No, I cannot. Oh, that is rough then. No. Also no. Can I get up through here? Wait, come... seriously? That's vexing. I might be able to just sneak around on the coast, though, but if this is indeed an end to this area... Oh, we can. Fantastic. If this isn't a land bridge to somewhere else, then we are in super... Ah, no, we're not that lucky. Being said, let's have a quick peek up the top. Because if so, then we might actually be crazy. Like, oh, we have got a little stone deposit, though. How much? 56k. Not much at all. But every little bit helps. What have we got up here? We are. Oh, this is fantastic. That means this little area, these two over here, sorry, are the only reason we've got defenses here. And don't worry, I'm not going to go into the drink. I mean, I will, but I'll stop at the coast. All right, so once we've eliminated these three bases, we can actually put defenses along here. And we've got a defended line. This whole area will be ours to expand into. I wasn't expecting that, but that's actually pretty good to know. So I can move this around. We can wipe these out. Maybe just surround this place with defenses and just, you know, once again, allow them to do what they will. I mean, they've got the option to not attack. They could decide to try and live in peace with me as I slowly poison their planet. Okay, very unlikely that they would make that choice, and I'm not sure I would actually rate it as a very smart choice even if they did. But they do have the choice. They don't have to send out warring parties. No, thank you. I'm heading this way. You can follow at your own risk, and it's actually extremely risky to do so. I have warned you. There we are. Oh no! Wise. I approve of your wisdom. Well done. See, you can teach an old biter new tricks. Right, okay, so first and foremost, we want the rails. Stone, steel, and iron. The iron sticks are made at a 1 for 2. And this is the only one that uses multiple iron sticks, and it does so, well, actually makes them quite quickly. But I'm going to say, unless that... Yeah, alright, we'll have the rail station next in line. Ooh, this one actually requires a few components. Iron and iron sticks can flow down on one side. Yeah, I think I can see a pattern that we can make here. It should be fun. So this is going to make our iron sticks. Down here, we're going to have the rails. Down here, we're going to have the actual stations themselves. Something like this. I'm going to want to take iron off the belt. And then put iron sticks back on the belt. Take iron sticks off. Take iron sticks and iron off. Now, this requires that I bring the iron in on this side. So that it doesn't cause me any problems. This way I can make sure the iron sticks go onto the outside of this belt, while the iron itself comes in on the inside. That should work quite nicely. Let's set that up. Like so. There we go. Right, set this one up for iron sticks. This one up for rails. And this one up for stations. Oh, we've already got the signals as well. Iron plates and electronic circuits. Iron plates and electronic circuits, so that we can, in fact, continue this down. And the iron sticks, though, will be all the way down here, which is actually a bit of a pain. Still, I don't strictly mind, I guess. I really don't mind. It's fine. It's not the most efficient way of doing it, because the iron sticks are ultimately just going to be wasted as a result, the ones that get down this far, but it's okay. That said, one way of improving that is actually to have this factory down there. Okay, that works. I'm going to take the iron sticks out of here, and I'm going to switch this over to making the rail signals, and this one can make the chain signals. I'll go over how they all work a little bit, but that actually works out much better for me. How many does this need? It doesn't need that many. I think we're going to be okay. Now what we're going to want on the other side is electronic circuits and steel. And steel is going to be used in both locations, so yeah, this will actually work out quite nicely for us. Now, the only problem here is where I'm going to place these items. I guess I could have Just a little bit of something reaching over the belt that is going to run all the way down. There we are. And these can load up. It would annoy me too much if they were out of place. There we go. And we can have this just... Oh, you didn't need that one. Can I get all of those? I can. Oh, how absolutely marvelous. I approve. Enormously. Right, so with that done, we just need some chests. And since I am now producing them, I may as well place them. But we do not... Well, actually, for rails, we want a lot of them. Signals, we don't need that many because they stack quite well. Rails stack up to 100, but you're not going to... I think these stack up to 10. So I'm going to allow for... Well, we'll allow for 1 for the time being. We've got another attack going on. Let's just go in and check how that's going. It's going more or less as expected. They're just wandering down this way at this point. And then the gunfire is attracting more of them. It's going to be attacking for a long time. Right, so that's all sorted. Now we just need electronic circuits and steel. We also need stones though for this one. I can bring in the stones with a long reach over here. That'll do. Let's get that one set up. And we're going to need a splitter here and a bridge going underneath it to avoid the bricks getting into the wrong place. And a couple of tunnels. I said a bridge, I meant a tunnel. It's the same thing, only it goes in it goes underground rather than above ground. There we are. So all we need now is steel and green circuits. Just make sure that is the case. Yep. All right. So this one can just draw out across. So can the copper, green circuits, and the steel. However, we're going to need those branched off. So we'll have the copper branch, sorry, the green circuits branch first. There we go. And then this can branch there. And we're sorted. Not bad at all. And now, if I haven't made a mistake, we should have all of the components being prepared for our railway as well. Let's have a watch of this come down. And there we go. First rails being made. They are getting most of their items about as fast as they need them. How about down here? Not getting the iron quite as fast. Nor down here. It needs a fair amount of them. This one I actually don't mind about because it takes so long to make it. But I will upgrade the inserters on this side. The steel does not appear to be the limiting factor. Well, actually, steel is reasonably high volume. But by and large, I would say that the inserters on this side are needed far less aggressively than the inserters on the other. This one, though, is it able to offload fast enough? It is not. Let's pop that there, then. Of course, it is multiplying the input, so that shouldn't surprise me too much. But there we go. We are now producing everything we're going to need to set up our own railway. We are going to want engines, though, the locomotives. So let's go and grab the engines that we're already manufacturing. So there we go. Drop those in. I will prep our first train myself. We also need some gears. I'm going to be cheeky and steal them off the belt. There we are. Now, I mean, you could be happy with one. Why would you be, though? Now we just need a little bit of steel as well. There we go. 1, 2, 2. Sorry, 1, 2. So one carriage and then 2 cargo wagons. or rather one locomotive and 2 wagons, is generally the ratio to get the train moving at top speed, from what I understand. So if you want more cargo wagons, and it doesn't matter between fluid and cargo wagons, let's say you wanted 4 wagons, then you might want to have 2 locomotives to pull it at top speed. Though I think that has more to do with acceleration than it does with actually the top speed. But I usually don't worry about it. I'm usually fine with 4 wagons and 1 locomotive. I'll usually go single-headed train. So a locomotive that can only drive in one direction, so you need actual turns around the place, rather than being able to pull into a station and then pull out the opposite way because you've got another locomotive on the other end. Simply because I like making larger rail networks. Honestly, that's the literal reason there. But I think that's about all the time that we have for today's episode. We have automated a few new things. We have drastically increased our defensive. We've also eliminated 1 biter base in its entirety. Now, we've got a lot of copper ore down there, and it's probably worth me setting up a train to grab that as well, rather than relying on this one. But for the time being, I'm going to say we need this iron ore deposit. So that's going to be the first focus, is a train over there. And we will also, since we'll be up that way, set up a train to harvest the copper deposit as well, since both of them are right next to each other. But we will be setting up a little train just to grab this stuff as well and bring it up. But we're very, very close now to the point where we're going to start wanting to look at setting up actual rails, actual districts around the place. So a manufacturing hub that is delivered resources by train and then takes those finished goods away and brings them to a central location, some sort of mall area, or somewhere where I'm using them in some capacity, perhaps to make, like for example, a green circuit manufacturing area. Which will then deliver those green circuits to many different places that will require them. But that's going to be it for today's episode. I really do hope you have enjoyed. We have laid the tracks. I mean, not strictly speaking, metaphorically speaking, we have laid the tracks for railways in the next episode, and I hope you're excited to see that. But until then, and as always, take care.